On Facebook, y'all. Hold on.
There we go.
Can I get in Facebook on my? Can I get on there without messing up the live? Let me see here. And then we had it on. Come on through, y'all, because we're going to be talking about attention versus respect. That is the topic tonight while we get our music set up.
We got 1,000 likes.
1,000 likes. Wow, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Whoa. And let me see here. Let me see. All right, y'all. So I'm going to stop playing. Let me get over here. So how have y'all weekend or week been? It's been a phenomenal week for me. A lot of changes. I got new keys. Oh my God, it's great to have new keys.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey. So you gotta learn to mind your business when the Most High is elevating you. Because it'll look like everything is falling apart, but it's not. It's not. You gotta mind your business. Pay attention to everything that's surrounding you. Come on in, y'all. And let me see. There's another one. Where is that other one? Well, let's see. We can't find it. So now I need to get a DJ. I need you to be the DJ now. Let me see here. All right. So we're just getting ready to start. I'm going to start a little bit earlier.
All right.
Okay. Anybody in the chat saying anything on TikTok? They normally don't talk this early.
Right.
We just, figure it out. And then, yeah, everyone. I hope everybody's doing wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay. This is it right here. Come on in, everyone. While we get everything situated for tonight, I want to say welcome to Scales to Success LLC TV live. We are here. I'm Dr. Dorena Shine, and I'm so grateful that you're here with me today. I want to also say that this has been a very powerful week. This has been a week of stimulation, of growth, of elevation. I mean, there's a lot of things happening in the universe. The ethers are really, really making profound changes in the lives of those who deserve it. If you've been working on yourself, your time is now, baby. It's time for you to fully step out on faith and thank everyone who has ever helped you in any way. Because you know what has happened? They have given you the strength to move forward into your own belief system. And tonight's topic is about attention versus respect. Now, we're going to take you over in the background to the other side of the room, and we're going to get right into the live. But I want you to know the difference, because a lot of people feel attention is what they desire. Now, mind you, if we get likes and all that, it's fine, it's cool. But if one person comes to the podcast and hears it and it impacts them in an effective way, that's just as good as 1,000 likes. I mean, like, really, because we don't know what those likes are really and truly doing at the concept. Are they watching to monitor you? Are they watching to inspire and learn something from you? Or are they just wishing ill will upon you because that's what they do? You know, people have reasons for doing everything that they do. So with no further ado, listen, thank everyone for subscribing to the channel, being on Facebook, being, following on the I haven't really done any videos on Facebook lately. I've just been lifing with my life, and so I've been, growing in the background. And so now I'll start to make sure I do that. But let's get right into the podcast tonight. So come on over with us. Okay. Okay. Can you? I don't know why you keep telling me. Okay. So we need to put. Are we doing? We're just going to turn that around and bring those over here to us. Excuse me. Hold on. Here we go. I gotta move this. Is this facing? Okay. We're getting ready to get everything situated for the live, but this is the actual video here. So I'm going to turn the camera. Let me see here. Just bring that on over here, yeah. And then we'll put that right there. And this can actually be facing to that. Oh, no camera? Okay. Oh, the music is so beautiful. Could you flip that around so we can get ready for that one? So, Javier, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling great.
What's been going on with you? Any good new things happening with you?
Yes, I know I've been adamant about my work. You've been working good. I've also been relaxing, taking a staycation.
A staycation. I did that today. I took a little hiatus for the day.
Okay, now just to figure out how I can turn this camera.
Well, you turn it around and then turn the camera with the. Let me see. We turn it this way.
Yeah, it's just a button that you have to press. So hold on.
Yeah. Well,
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, and then we put this. Is that better? Just so they can see. Now, what about this? What's happening here?
That one I don't think
Okay.
you can turn the camera on.
Yeah, you
It's
can.
facing me.
Okay. It is. Is there a camera setting? Okay, well, I'll just keep this for footage. All right, so tonight, welcome to the Scales to Success LLC live TV. I think that's it, right? So tonight we are going to be talking about the difference between attention
versus respect.
And
knowing the difference.
Mm-hmm. Why is it important to know the difference?
I feel it's important to know the difference because, you don't want to be taken advantage of and you don't want to seem too harsh. So I feel like attention versus respect is a very great topic.
Mm-hmm.
Because now we're talking about both aspects.
Right. Welcome everyone on TikTok. I see you move in. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you, Facebook Live. Thank you, YouTube. And we started our Patreon page again. We're going to be including that as well. The podcast will actually be on Patreon. Hashtag Dr. Darina Shine. So we just want to let that be known. So, okay, it's 7:02. We can actually get to it. All right, attention versus respect. Attention. I was listening to a song I was trying to get everyone to hear when I was trying to figure out the actual song that I had on my Facebook page, and I couldn't find it. But anyway, it was about Spotlight on Me. And he talks about how when the spotlight is on you, people can judge you, people can defame you, people can glorify you. But when that spotlight is not on you and you're still being monitored, It's something I want you to pay attention to, because a lot of people feel that that's where attention and the seeking of attention comes from. How many people have gone on live TV and done things that they've regretted? You know, the fights, the arguments in the parking lot, and yeah, they get many thousands of hundreds of thousands of views. But it's because they are allowing people to see the negative energy that they're pushing out for their legacy. And they don't even know they even have a legacy. They don't care. Imagine being 50 years old, being on an OnlyFans page when you were 25, and now you're 70, and your great grandchild comes to you and say, "Hey, Grandma, was this you?" Attention. She probably got 1 million views just because she was naked. But at what point do we hold accountability to attention? Now, attention is holding a spotlight to yourself. And it's saying to yourself, what do you want the world to know about you? Respect, on the other hand, is a steady flow that happens over time. You don't get it immediately. You allow it to grow, and as it's growing, you give honor to the synchronicity of what respect means to you. So when you sit back, like just recently, I went back and looked at an image that was over 30 something years old, and back in the day, and I was thinking to myself, wow, that's what I was doing back then. So it plays a major role in how I'm living today. Just like people who choose not to pay attention to their health, their body, and they do whatever they want to do, and they'll feel like, oh, just because it's okay today, it's going to always be okay, and it's not always that choice. What say you?
Right. I mean, looking back, you can either look back on the mistakes you made or how good of a, how can I say this? You can look back and see how many mistakes you've made, or you can see if you avoided a mistake, if you understand what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. It's like you can look at it two ways, either in a good way or a positive way, like reminiscing or, like you said, regret.
A regret. Oh, reminisce or regret.
It's the same thing like someone saying, man, I'm grateful I took care of my teeth. And it's someone else saying, man, I should have took care of my teeth.
Right.
It goes something like that.
Or your face, body, with all the makeup and not allowing your hair to breathe, the fake hair all the time, nothing natural. And then when you try to bring out your own natural beauty, it's very difficult, Right. But respect is that steady flow over time. Now, one thing about respect is it's not given as fast as attention can be given. You can go viral in an overnight, right? You can actually literally go viral overnight. And a person who has no followers can have 100,000 followers or 1 million followers overnight based on whatever it is they're presenting. And it's also based on the algorithm of the attention that other people expect or want in that moment in time. So let's move to the next point of communication tonight.
Respect equals steady flow balanced over time.
A lot of people don't want to wait on that respect. A lot of people want to rush into it. So a lot of people feel, oh my God, I've been asleep for so long in my life until now I got to catch up. And so they want the respect immediately, and they'll do it by getting it in an attentive way.
That's not the way to do it.
It can't be done that way because there's so many different precursors that come with that immediate attention. But now the respect level It's something that people have to give you based on the way that you respect yourself. So the respect says that this is what's happening. Okay? Okay, let me see who's here. Welcome, everyone. Thank you all so much for being in the live on TikTok and YouTube. Welcome, everyone on YouTube. If you are here, we really appreciate you. Is anyone in the chat?
People coming.
Yeah, who's here? Let's see.
Bust down joined.
Okay, what's up, Buzz Down? Talk to me. Tell me how you feeling tonight. You doing all right? What's the difference between respect and attention, and which one would you prefer to have? Would you prefer to have attention or respect, and why? So let's move on to our next flow of topic. We won't hold you long tonight because I know it's super hot, but we're just trying to slow it all down.
Sometimes you gotta feel the heat.
Viewpoints to consider.
What key areas do we look at when determining the difference between attention and respect?
So we again are looking at the fundamental practice of what we do that determine what we're trying to create for our future. Now, if we want immediate gratification, which most people do, they're going to want the attention immediately. They're not going to want to put in the work. They're not going to want to put in the needed opportunity to, they're not going to want to put in the immediate opportunity to grow with success. So the respect will become a little bit mundane to them. They're not going to care too much about the respect. Right. And that's the part where attention seekers become manipulators. They become narcissistic. They become controlling. They don't want other people to shine. They don't want other people to get that opportunity to grow. They want to withhold valuable, detailed information. They want to hold that from them because they want to seek the attention. It's always the attention seeker that prevents respect from happening in the long run. A lot of times, attention seekers, people see them coming and what do they say? Oh God, here we go again. Here they come. Because we already know what's happening. You know? So what about you? What determines your difference, and why is that important to you?
My difference, like I've said, I'm a persistence hunter. So if I want something, I'm not going to rush to get it. I'm going to take my time to get it. So with respect, I can't make everybody respect me. But I can also put my foot down and not let everybody get my attention. I can keep looking the other way, or I can just mind my own business. And that's exactly what I do. You know?
Yes.
When you persistence hunt, it's like you're going to get it, but they're going to have to submit to it, you know?
What does that mean? Give me an example of that.
For an example. So, like I said, I'm in debate class. And say if I want demand respect, right? Someone doesn't agree on something that I agree on, we're bound to not agree on the same thing. But if my opinion is more logical, then it's more logical. I'm not going to force them to say, oh, you're right, you're more logical. They're going to easily submit to it and say, well, you know, you're right, kind of, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like saying it's hot outside, and they're like, no, it's not, because it's got central air inside of here. The minute they go outside, they're like, oh, man, you kind of right.
You're right.
Right. I don't got to force anybody to understand my viewpoint. They're bound to understand it if I'm saying the right thing, if I'm being correct. They're bound to understand it anyway. So what's the point in just schooling someone saying, man, listen, don't hurt yourself. If you see the stove is hot, don't touch it. They got to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're an attention seeker, everybody knows that they're an attention seeker. You know? Mm-hmm. The minute they start showing their true colors, everybody going to already know.
And that's where people lose respect. You know, it's not about having the respect of others. We want that 100%, 100,000%, because it cuts down on drama, trauma, unnecessary experiences, the respect factor that each person respects each other equally. Okay, but the respect that I want to engage in tonight is about the respect for self and the respect for the value of self and the respect for the things that will happen in the future for self. That's that respect measure. And so we have to know key differences of how we're going to take that and determine the difference between which one we're really working on. Now, we can fake it all day and say, we're all respect. We gain our respect. We got our respect. And do dirty things in the dark. And those dirty things are going to show up at the moment we least expect.
Right.
Because it was all about attention and not about the respect for self.
That's why he said it becomes a self-love. You gotta love yourself before anybody else can love you. Because if you're looking out for love and you've been hurt so many times, how do you even know what love is?
Come on with it. Absolutely. And that's another viewpoint. How do you know what love is if you've only been hurt in relationships so much that it creates kind of like wearing rose tinted glasses. You see it differently, but you see the same thing. You just see it the way you want to see it. And it's prettier with the rose tinted glasses. And that's something that is a viewpoint that I want you to pay attention to. My difference, well, if I look at what I would rather do, would I rather be attention sought or seeking, or would I rather have respect? I would say respect any and all day, because there's a lot to that for me. It's the way I was raised. It was the way that, you're going to respect your elders. You're going to do what you need to do. You're going to respect your peers. You're going to respect society. You're going to respect the environment, like you were doing the other day when you recycle. You're like, we want to respect the environment. That's valuable right there, because you're trying to save the planet in which you're going to be existing on in 2081.
Right.
So.
Ooh, just to think about it, I'd be like 70.
Yeah. Look at that. Wonderful, right?
Hopefully we got flying cars by then.
Oh, yeah. I thought we would have flying cars by 2000.
Well, we kind of did. We had an airplane car, but that's kind of getting off topic.
So, respect. Let's talk about some philosophers. We have Machiavelli. Now, Machiavelli says that we should have fear over love, meaning that if you are a parent, your child must fear you in order to respect you. Because if they think that they can get over on you, they're going to manipulate you. They're going to put on the sad face when they want what they want. They're going to be the greatest pimp manipulator in your life, your child. Now, okay. If we were to look at it that way, think of Machiavelli and what he said. How many people in the chat believe that fear over love is a respect scenario? Or is it attention, really? Because if someone loves me out of fear, I'm an abuser. Like in the Christian biblical text, it says, God, you should fear God. I never felt that if God is so omnipresent, omniscient, resourceful, why would I fear resourceful? Why would I fear omnipotent? I'm gonna engage in it. I'm gonna love it.
I think, sorry not to cut you off, but I think when the Bible says that, it says to not do wrong, and then also go back saying, "Oh, praise the Lord." You know, you can't do every single son. I said son. You can't do every single sin underneath the sun and then come back to the church catching the Holy Ghost. You can't do that. I think that's when it said to fear God. I feel that that's also like don't cross him or don't take him for granted. I mean, that's how many of us are today, you know. Don't take me for granted. Just because I'm a nice person doesn't mean that you can take me for granted. I think that's what everybody was doing back then.
See, for me, I grew up in the Christian tradition. And one thing that I never understood, and I always questioned, why can't I just love God? Why do I need to fear God? You know, why can't I just respect the fact that doing the right thing is the most valuable thing to do, whether there's a heaven or hell or not? Like, and we're going to go deeper into that tonight when we look at another philosopher from the 1500s and who said that the empty slate is something that you can wipe away. You can't forget it, but you can start over again. So let's get into the concepts with what Machiavelli says. Some people would rather be feared than loved. They don't want people to appreciate or value them because that fear controls the narrative. Well, if they feel that they can walk over me, then they'll cheat on me instead of me saying that you're an adult. You can do whatever it is you want to do. Just let me know, inform me, so we have a line of open communication. And then from there, I can make the decision if I want to walk away or not. Instead of saying, you're going to be with me because I said you're going to be with me. You're not allowed to go there. You're not allowed to go visit your aunt because she's, single. You're not allowed to go, over your baby dad's house without me being there. I mean, what happened to the level of respect that comes with that?
It's the same thing I said the other day. If you can't learn to trust your partner, either you have insecurities of your own, or what else did I say? Or you're just not trusting. Because in a relationship, you have to trust.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that it's about.
And the high and lows. And that's the mentality that a lot of people feel that they have. And there's a lot of women, I guarantee you, that if they sat back and they thought about what I said and they looked at their mate right now, and men and two women who are controlling as well, I guarantee you they will say, yeah, I believe her. She's right. Why would I want somebody to fear me versus respect or love me and just communicate with me? So let's look at another philosopher, Mr. William James, the pragmatic philosopher. Now, I studied William James in college, and one thing I liked about this philosophical thought is William James said, if there's a God, okay, because some people in philosophy say that there is no God, okay, that we were born from ourselves and that's how it is. And, you just go and look at the term of philosophy and you'll see the whole argument and debate of, is there a God? Is there a heaven? Is there a hell? So the reality of William James, he said, okay, whether there is a heaven or hell, if we do right, we go to heaven. And that is just the consciousness of how we live, of how we grow, how the respect over time will benefit our legacy, how we will take care of our bodies, how we will heal our minds from many demonic attacks that take place in the on the planet, okay, low vibrationally. But he said, even if there was no heaven or hell, let's take the atheist perspective and say, even if there was no heaven or hell, how about this? Would you just do right for the benefit of respect of the fellow man that is near you, that is a part of you, your neighbor, you know, um, your coworker, your employee, your employer. You know, do we respect to that degree to where we're looking at ourselves in a mirror based on who's in front of us?
Right.
The will to be respected is where William James comes. So he takes the initiative that it is better to be respected than to be feared. And that's the reason why Tabula Rasa Incorporated is our accreditation service, our certification service. And that's one thing we search for when we connect and link to many of our clients. Shout out to some of the top industries in the state of Ohio that are working with us right now. We are implementing just strategic options of success over industries. Shout out to Bryson. Thank you for actually connecting that to me as a mission force. So, tabula rasa is like you said, Javier, even if we have to start over again, we can wipe that slate clean, but we can't keep doing the same thing. That's like the interview with R. Kelly. And he said, I pray to God, I commit my sins and I pray to God, and he comes and he keeps it, you know, he wipes it clean. But that interviewer said, but if you're doing the same thing, doesn't that give you an unnecessary, irrevocable past to keep messing up? And you can't do that. The irrevocable past allows you more of an attention opportunity than a respect. What
Right.
say you?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. You know, you gotta make it a point to learn from your mistakes and keep making them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You can be tied in a harem of negativity, low vibrational frequency, where you don't even believe that you will be able to come out of it victoriously. But if you did everything, I'm not saying perfect, but if you do everything by kind of a standard within yourself, and you say, okay, I will never go below this standard in this life, low vibrationally, I will never sell my soul to the attacks of those things that I know are wrong. And I'll try my best, even when I make a mistake and I realize that it was a mistake, I'm going to go back and I'm going to reinvent a respectful mode of it. I can't keep going on with life, stepping on people like as though I deserve this as a respect factor. Only the ignorant can do that and feel okay with themselves or with herself. So it goes back to emptying the slate, but learning as you grow. Learn as you earn. I said this in my Facebook post this week. I said, I don't want to eat crumbs with bums, and I don't want to eat steak with snakes. Because when you stand by yourself, when you're alone, you find out what's really going on. And that hit hard. That hit home for me. I was like, yeah. So being alone sometimes is the best place for you to be, because it keeps you silent enough to imagine what life can be, to where you can even manifest wholly, creatively, fully. You see?
Right.
So what say you?
I absolutely agree. Because when you don't eat with anybody, you get to choose your own lunch.
True. I didn't even think about that. You're right. It's like, yeah, what do I want? What do I want? See, and there goes that respect for self.
Mm-hmm. Instead of being attentive and eating what everyone else eats, this is the most main popular thing. You actually take a minute to think on what you want to eat. Like, whoa, I haven't had this in a while. Like that.
Yes. Okay, let's move to our next phase, our Q&As in the house. TikTok, are you guys still with me? It feels like it's very quiet and on TikTok. Who's there?
Uh, Bust Down is still here with us.
All right, you still with us? Okay. So here we go. Here we go. Our Q&As tonight is: do you think you would go with either respect or attention? Thinking. What is question number one?
Question number one. What side would you choose? Attention or respect, and why?
I'm gonna let you answer first.
Me, I would choose respect. Because I'd rather have respect than attention. You know, I've never really had it, or like, I wouldn't have said, like, I gotta put this. I've always been to myself. I never really ran with a group, maybe, is what I'm trying to say. You know? So I'd rather take respect over attention. Because when people put their attention on me, it's like, alright. Hey, how's it going?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'd rather have respect.
Absolutely.
Because being in that business side, once you're over there, it's like, I gotta be professional.
Mm-hmm.
There's no time to be horsing around.
For me, I can remember being a singer in my young adult life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And basically, what I did was I sang, and I had to sing at an all-city variety show.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I had this classmate. His name starts with an R, okay? And his last name is B. And RB, in the middle of my kind of like, what do you call it? I don't even know.
Performance?
Yes, thank you. In the middle of my performance, he gets up. I was singing Imagination by Mickey Howard, right? He gets up and he walks up on the stage and gives me a rose. And I have no idea what to do with this. So what I do, because I'm not an attention seeker, but I was in that attention mode, I walk away like it was my imagination and it wasn't there. And he follows me. And when he follows me, I continue to walk away. And then he takes the rose and he goes back down the step. But my thing was, why didn't you tell me you were going to do that?
Did you keep singing?
And I kept singing because I was in the moment. You know what I mean? You can't stop your flow because someone wants to maybe distract you. I may have felt a little bit curious, like, oh my God, why are you even here? You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have told me I'm going to do this, but...
He was like, boy, bye.
No, I wasn't like that. I was more like, what the heck? This wasn't part of the, the performance. So I would rather have been respected at that time than surprised. Because that surprise, that element of surprise could have distracted me altogether. And it could have been an embarrassing moment. Or if I had took it, it could have been something that now the whole school thinks I'm in love with RB because he did this on actual stage. And it's like, so I believe his purpose for doing that was attention. To steal the spotlight. But to also be gentlemanlike too. I didn't know.
It's a certain ways how you go about doing things. You can't just go up and just stop a whole performance. You know, I think he was probably young. He was just trying to find the right moment. He probably got peer pressured by his friend. Like, go do it, go do it. And then once he did, he's like, oh man, what did I do? So you both were like, oh, wait a minute.
What the heck?
No? Okay.
Yes. Yes. And I see that day very vividly in my mindset. And but you gotta keep going. And it goes back to the whole respect thing. I want to be respected because I respect others. I would never take an initiative to jump into a performance that didn't involve me to make it about me. You know what I mean? If someone else is performing. So I would take respect over attention any day. The next question.
Next question is: have you ever changed your thoughts after hearing another person's perspective?
Okay, now let's go back to RB and that example at the All City Variety Show. I would say that if he had have told me, I'm going to do this, you think you would be down for that? I think it would be really nice to engage the, audience with my presence, and it'll make it look like it's part of like a video. I think I would have been more engaging to it because his point of view would have changed the perspective of what I was thinking. I was only thinking, get up there, stay focused on my words. I have to stay focused on my performance, my actions, my movements. And I had heels on. I had to focus on not falling. And all eyes are attentively watching me. And then here you come with something that's just unpracticed. So I think that if he had came a little bit communicative, I would have understood it.
Right.
What about you?
You know what? I cannot relate. Haven't been in that situation. Probably won't. And save myself the embarrassment. He probably walked up on that stage like, yes, I finally got it. And you like, who are you? And he was like, oh man. You know what? One of my peers went through the same thing. Todd, he said, he walked up to the one girl, and then he was like, here, I got you this. And she was like, what? I don't like you. Yeah. And then he said, he went and cried, and then his friends had to go help him. I'm like, oh man, no, not Todd.
Yeah. He just wanted to be respected in that moment. And like I told RB, I said, if you had have just engaged me with it, and I went and I talked to him, and I said, I thank you. I appreciate what you did, but I didn't know what to do. I was like clueless. So I just had to do with what my mindset was singing already, which was imagination. So I don't know. I don't know how I would do it either. Okay, what's the third question?
Third and final question is, does an individual's experience form their way of seeing respect or attention, and why?
What do you think?
Yes, it does. It all depends on where you've grown up. It all depends on how you were raised. Say if you were raised church-wise, you'd be like, well, I don't see, this looks kind of sinful. Say if you grew up in the street, man, I wouldn't like that. But either way, morality is just like a language. No matter what, if you don't even understand the language, if what the person's doing as you see is correct and moral, then you're going to be like, not bad.
There's levels to respect, I think. And I see what you mean. There's like a channeling and the levels of what you have allowed yourself to learn over experience. And that's why I say respect is something that happens over time. It's kind of like the difference between, say if there's a race between a cheetah and a tortoise. Of course, logistically, experientially, you're going to think that the cheetah will definitely outrun the tortoise, right? But over time, fast pace, how fast can a cheetah run is not the question, is how long can the cheetah stay in the game? That's the benefit for me. Respect is the benefit of how long I have lived respect over time. And from that, it determines what I'm willing to give when it comes to respect versus attention. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. But did you say cheetah and a tortoise?
Yeah.
You mean tortoise in the hair?
I mean a cheetah because the cheetah runs fast.
Right.
But no, it's just like...
I get it. It's just another way to say
it. Yeah, it's a metaphor.
It threw me off because I'm like, wait, tortoise and the cheetah?
Right. because the cheetah runs fast, right?
Yeah.
The fastest running.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand. Cheetahs are just like a tortoise. They hunt down what they want. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
So it all depends.
Mm-hmm.
It just all depends. All depends.
Hmm.
All depends. All right, so let's go with the takeaways so we can get out of here tonight. This has been a great week. It's been a very busy week. I've been putting new ideas together and I'm meeting great people. And I just wanted to do this live, and I want you to come back and visit us on July 30th at 7 p.m. on all platforms: TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Dr. Dorina Shine.
Mm-hmm. So here's our takeaways. Attention can be dangerous. Attention can be easily broken. Distraction can be visible, and there's a consequence for crossing respect.
Mm-hmm. So attention being dangerous. I was looking at a guy today on a post where a police officer was charging him with something he had done, and they were cuffing him and they were gonna, take him to jail. And he had a dog, and this dog was vicious. It was a pit bull or something like that.
Mm.
And that pit bull fought for that master's life. I mean, literally, like loyalty to the T. Do you understand? And he was like, well, why am I getting arrested? And so the dog was just biting the police officers. Thank God the police officers had the respect for the animal, because they could have taken the animal out. And there would have been nothing that could be done. But yet, this seeking of attention can be very dangerous when you don't know how the other person is going to respond. If you think they're just all respectful, I didn't just get respectful overnight. This is over time. So I faced a lot of aggression, a lot of internal anger, a lot of traumatic experiences, a lot of valuable experiences, and a lot of controlling experiences. And that's what made me grow to be who I am today. It didn't just happen overnight. So with that being said, to me, attention can be very dangerous, especially based on what that attention is. And if you seek it and you meet the wrong person who doesn't understand the morality, communication, like you said, there's levels to morality. If they don't understand it, then guess what? They're not going to be able to comprehend the communication. They're not going to be able to learn anything from it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it can be dangerous.
Absolutely.
Do you have an example of a...
Example is, if a girl hustles a man down just because he's fine, doesn't mean that he's fine on the inside,
Mm-hmm.
She can pour all of his love, she can pour all of her love into him just to have a little itty bitty amount of affection and attention. Now, if that man goes finds another lady that's more fine looking than her, he's gonna throw her away. That's why attention can be easily broken. And the realest distraction of all was her wanting all that attention from someone that didn't even love her.
Right.
And this is the consequence for crossing her own self-respect. Now, that's just my opinion. It can be vice versa with a male or a female.
Absolutely. And men go through it too. Men definitely go through it.
Absolutely.
They get the women. I was just looking at Country Wayne, because that's my Young and the Restless in 2026, right? So there's this skit with Anthony, who is going through a divorce, and he's trying to find himself, and instead of finding himself, he's distracted by this new girl who has a son named Kai. And his son on his baby mama's side, who stole the baby from his wife, the seed of the baby from his wife, and had his child out of the side chick syndrome of the ex, or not the ex, but the side chick who cheated with the married man. Now she is the baby mama is mad at the fact that he got another woman who is not her in his beautiful mansion, and she has a nerve to tell him, and you're a married man. Well, wasn't he a married man when you had your baby Kai? So she had a baby Kai, and this new girl has a baby, a young son, Kai. But the reality is, because I was wondering, why were both names the same? It was the same to show the mirror image of two women trying to seek a man for his money and not for his love. And now, this woman, who has the older son, Kai, she has been disrespected by many of the peers around her who knows Anthony. And she knows that it wasn't a good thing for her to move into a married man's house who's going through a divorce with a side baby mama. You know, and she got up, she got her son, she thought about it, she's going through the process of detachment, and now she has to walk away. And she has to walk away with her head held high, with no shoes on. It reminds me of the movie Their Eyes Were Watching God, when Zany was the mayor's wife and he left her and she went and he dumped her. He threw her away. She had to walk back to her community with no barefoot. The mayor's wife, the one that everybody respected. And then she was just a regular random woman. But the real ones that had respect for her, not because of the title, not because of the attention, but because of the respect, they were the ones that nursed her back. And I want you to think about that, chat. I want you to think about times where we have to learn to never cross respect. Never ever do that. So thank you all so much for being here with us tonight. This is our July 15th conversation with Dr. Darina Shine on our live. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope that there's something that you can leave here with to make you think, to make you figure out, what you need to know. Do you have a value system? Do you even think about respect? Do you even care about attention? I mean, what are your thoughts? Because, I don't believe that anyone deserves an idea where they have to just allow someone to manipulate and control them. The minute you feel you need to be controlled is the minute that you become inhumane. The minute you believe you need to be narcissistically adapted, because let me tell you, I've never begged for a piece of bread. I've never not paid any bill that I was responsible for. I wouldn't care if I got laid off. I wouldn't care if there's not too many times that I really walk away because of the loyalty that I believe in, what I build for myself over time. But one thing about respect has never left me destitute. And I'm just amazed to see what's going to take place now. And with that, you keep going. Shout out to Sherry B. Thank you for giving me that inspiration this week, telling me to keep going. Keep going. Because there is so much in that movement. I don't care if you take baby steps. I don't care if your feet is swollen because of the heat. You take them small baby steps, you get up, you do something. And that's my takeaway and my advice for this week. And I'm going to let Javier give the final say and get us out of here.
Well, my final say is, Drink lots of water. You know, stay in the shade. And feel that heat. You know? Pretty soon it's gonna get cold. Man. Cold again. But, you know, you guys gotta enjoy what we talked about. If you like it, please join us back July 30th for our next episode. You can catch us at hashtag Dr. Dorina Shine, all lowercase, on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So thank you all for being here, and we'll see you next time.
How many people were there?
37 viewers. They kept coming and going. But I got a substitute 2,000 likes
Ow!
by clicking the screen.
Oh!
The live went through too.
Okay. I can't wait to see what it looks like. I felt so inspired this